Hello lovely people, hope you're all doing well. Okay, so today I thought I'd talk about reading books which, by well-known authors which aren't the books that they're well known for, if that makes sense. So not say like Janet Ivanovic, who's got a whole series and they're all known, or Stephen King because everyone knows all his books, but just the books which I think they kind of fall through the cracks a bit sometimes when there's been a really big one book that's made a really big splash and then the others don't really live up to it. So the first one I've got, and I actually think this was probably did do quite well, to be honest. So everyone knows The Book Thief, and I read it years ago and I remember it as being a really good book, certainly well written, and yeah, I remember enjoying it. So it had death in it. I normally enjoy those ones. So this book, I am the Messenger by Marcus Zusak. Really good. So it's set in Australia, where he's from, and it's an interesting book. It's quite odd. Basically, the protagonist, he's in a dead-end job. He's just driving taxis. He's in love with his best friend. He's stuck. Essentially, he's just stuck. He's not going anywhere. And one day, this playing card turns up in his drawer or on his bedside table, and it's kind of got a code on it, but essentially it's telling him that he has to be somewhere at a certain time. And by following these cards, there's 4 of them, he goes through these various confrontations which basically turn him into a grown-up. He learns a lot of things from them. It's surprisingly violent. Some of it was kind of odd reading, but yeah, really good, really well written and interesting. Like I say, I wouldn't say that I absolutely loved it or it's one of my favourite books ever, but it was definitely an interesting read. So there's that one. Okay, so Mark Haddon. Everyone of course knows The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. As has been noted before, I'm miles behind the trend of absolutely everyone, so I read this last year. And it was good. I did really enjoy it. It's a good book, it's well written, it's interesting. Yeah, so, and then a bit sad in a way as well, but yeah, I thought it was a really good book. So, since then, because it was well written, I have picked up a couple more of his books. So, A Spot of Bother, which I think was his second book, straight after The Curious Incident of a Dog in the Nighttime. Very different, completely different. So, this is definitely an adult's book. And in it, George wakes up one morning and he's he's 57. He wakes up and he finds a scab, and from there he deduces that he's got skin cancer without going to see the doctor. And everything kind of blows out of proportion in his mind, and it carries on from there. And there's various troubles in the relationship. It's very much a situational thing about George slowly not losing his mind, but becoming very obsessive about the skin cancer issue and losing touch with the reality of the situation to a certain extent. And it's funny in places, and it's a bit heartbreaking in places. In other places, you just want to kind of grab the characters and shake them. God, just stop being so ridiculous. But yeah, really good. The Red House. Yeah. Didn't enjoy this one as much, to be honest. It was another sort of situational one. Essentially, a brother and sister, their mother dies. They've been estranged for a very long time. The father's been gone for a long time. And the brother says, right, well, let's all meet in this lovely house in the Welsh countryside, and it'll be a reconnection. And as you can imagine, it is not. Everything goes wrong. It's all a bit disastrous. And it's pretty much just about family dramas and the interplay of relationships. And I imagine if you enjoy that sort of thing, it's probably a really good example, because again, it's really well written, but it's not really what I enjoy, so it was a bit meh for me. Okay, quickly then, the last couple, because one of these I haven't read. So Salmon Fishing in the Yemen, obviously lovely movie, even better book. Book was fantastic, I absolutely loved it. And I have 2 more books by him. Don't know what happened to Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. I have to stop moving so I can stop losing books. So I have read this one, The Hopeless Life of Charlie Summers. And it's really good. It's a really odd story, essentially, about a guy who works for one of the sort of financial companies which were booming just before the crash, and what happens when the bottom falls out. All intertwined with people trying to kill him, and it's actually so confusing, I can't really remember right now, but it was very good, and it was very well written, and I did enjoy it a lot. And then I have another book of his here, which I haven't yet read, but I am looking forward to reading. Hoping it's to live up to Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. This one didn't quite, but it was still excellent. Okay, so tell me in the comments, what are some books by well-known authors, some lesser-known books that you really enjoyed? Let me know, because yeah, I don't have enough to read. Thanks very much. See ya.